On number 26 here, I'm going to give you my two-parted video. The first part will be me talking about CM Punk's promo last Monday night on Raw, and the second part will be my live and pay-per-view reviews for ROH Best in the World 2011. Let's start with CM Punk. Honestly, I did not watch Monday Night Raw this past Monday. First off, I was at work, and I came home and I just wanted to rest. And then I go on Twitter around, 10:50, and I hear everyone posting about, this is promo of the year. Sorry, Jay Briscoes. Sorry, Davey Richards. This is the promo of the year. Punk, everything he's saying is true. Yada 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 yada. And then I find it on YouTube the next morning. This is Tuesday morning actually, and I listen to him, and he's going off, and everything he's saying just is awesome. And just first off, I want to say this about Punk's promo before I get into any of the details, which I was about to do. The guy can just straight talk. Before anything else, he draws me in with whatever he's talking about, and he's just entertaining to hear talk. Before you even hear what the subject is about, the best talkers in the industry, have that respect where no matter what they're saying or what they're talking about, you shut up and you listen to them. Punk is one of those guys because they have the potential to do this. Second, he just starts off and, he starts off making it seem like it's going to be not like a normal promo for a challenger heel, but it's kind of that fact because he just mentioned, saying how he's sitting there uncomfortably and stuff along those lines, mentioning the championship match, and then he just starts going on a tirade about everything, saying how he really it makes it really seem like he is leaving at Money in the Bank, whether he is or not, who knows? He probably is, but everyone can come up with their own story for that. But here's the thing: if this is a storyline, this is one of the best storylines in years. Because this was the best thing on Monday Night Raw I have seen in such a long time. This outdoes the Nexus thing. In my opinion, this outdoes The Rock coming back. This is one of the best things I've seen in a long, long time. Because it just captured, everyone's attention. Just by him mentioning Colt Cabana for 2 seconds, he was trending on Twitter. He mentioned ROH briefly. That trended on Twitter. I don't know about New Japan, but that might have. Just Punk was trending a lot. They got Cena to trend. Everyone was just watching and was in awe of what he said. It really did light the wrestling world on fire a little bit. Everyone had to talk about it. People were doing Raw reviews who never did Raw reviews. This is not a Raw review from me. This is just me talking about the promo that happened on Raw. The video that I favorited of his promo is already up to 700,000 views. That's crazy. It's gone viral because everyone wants to hear what he has to say. That's just incredible to me, First off, him saying the word wrestling is, kind of cutting edge. He's the best wrestler in the world. Then him mentioning New Japan, ROH, Colt Cabana, and then taking shots at Triple H. The Stephanie one seemed a little bit normal. And then at John Laurinaitis and all the people around Vince McMahon, it just seemed very, very awesome to watch, And if you're going to argue about whether it's worked or not, who cares? It's just fun to watch. It was something that just captured not only all of our attentions, but just drew us into the storyline. I had never considered buying Money in the Bank until Monday night. I was like, WWE really wants me to buy this pay-per-view to see this. Because first off, Punk is on fire right now. He is doing, just so much great stuff. Outside that promo included, he plays the role great of being the anti-Cena. He plays it great. And so just Punk, just went out there and delivered one hell of a promo on Monday night. And, I will be watching Raw on Monday night now just to see more stuff from CM Punk. I mean, I know he was suspended, and I did read the spoilers, and he's not going to be on Raw, but I am still going to watch it just to see, where this goes, to see in actuality, on camera how this plays out, even though I know what's going to happen, sort of. But this is a really, really cool storyline. WWE has me interested. Hopefully they do more stuff like this in the future, just getting me interested, because I know I've said this since about October last year. My interest in WWE right now, outside of around WrestleMania time, is at an all-time low, and that's just because of how crap their product is. And I see how good it could be, but how crap it is. You have guys like Sin Cara, Daniel Bryan, Alberto Del Rio, guys that I am huge fans of, but, and the whole Christian thing really pissed me off too, but, there's a lot of guys that I want to watch wrestle, but if I'm going to see them used the way they are, there's no point to me, you know. And I can watch the good Brian Danielson, if you want to call him. I can go watch CMLL and go watch Mystico if I want, pop in some DVDs or something. You know, I can do that. But I'd rather watch them currently. But if I can't get the good versions of them, I'd rather watch the versions that are good. So, just a little bit of a gripe there for me. But anyway, if you have not seen the promo, it's all over YouTube. CM Punk is the frickin' man. He is the best wrestler in the world with a complete package. You know, maybe, you know, and I think there's no doubt in that now. Alright, part 2 of this video. My ROH Best in the World live review and pay-per-view reviews together. You will see both in the description box. Overall, live, I thought this was such a fun show to be at. You know, I sat with Sanders, Robin, Trademark 69, Big Red 310, and one of our friends. And he came up with something, or me and him together came up with something after the Kevin Steen stuff, and I'll share that with you then. But Sanders, Robin hinted at it, but let's just get on with the live and pay-per-view reviews. Because I was there live, I did get to see Generation Me versus Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly. This was an absolute exhibition, you know. Just everyone doing their spots, and, you know, it was spotty, but, you know, they had to jam so much in, I guess, a little bit of time because they had to go on at 4, and they actually went on a little bit before 4 o'clock. So, you know, I did understand it, and it was just great to see Generation Me, the Young Bucks, back in Ring of Honor, because, yeah, I like them in PWG, but just in Ring of Honor, I like seeing them here because, you know, the PWG fans, you get to see them so much, so it was great to see them with a crowd that, you know, hasn't seen them in so long, just everyone marking out for their usual spots, and it was just, they have not lost a step at all, and I'm not surprised, because they just looked so awesome here. And, I mean, I guess they can't do their full moveset in TNA because of certain circumstances, but they just looked so awesome here. And if they're one of my, if not my favorite tag team. So I'd love to watch them. And then Cole and O'Reilly worked perfect against them. So, such a great match, you know. And people want to say how the Bravados ruined this match. I saw something like that coming, you know, and then I thought there was going to be something on the actual pay-per-view to relate to this, like the Bravados coming out saying how we jumped them before, and then Cole and O'Reilly getting the beat down on them, but that didn't happen, so, you know, it was still a very fun match, and that's what I think it should be remembered for, and it was a great match live, so pick up the DVD, you know, to see that, because you won't get to see it any other way. Then we got the start of the actual pay-per-view with Colt Cabana versus Tommaso Ciampa. This was a decent match, nothing that bad. I mean, I think Ciampa should do a little better for what he's given, but I think he's still pretty good. You know, he is undefeated and still in Ring of Honor. I had to give away a spoiler, but whatever. I think he's still very good. You know, I want to see Ciampa in there with, you know, a bigger Ring of Honor guy. So far, he's just been doing opening matches and just guys that, you know, Adam Cole. You know, he's a good guy, but like guys that aren't. You know, he had matches with Homicide. You know, I want to see him on a bigger role in the card, like one random show, well, not really, him versus Roderick Strong. Why not? You know, give him that opportunity. He hasn't had that yet, so I'd like to see that. And then Cabana, this was his normal stuff, 2 stars, nothing much. Then we get to the returning Jay Lethal versus Mike Bennett. This was a good match. You know, people don't like Mike Bennett, and I was going to wait to see what he did here before I really judged him. He did very well here. I mean, he does not wrestle that normal Ring of Honor style. However, it's not a bad style. You know, it's not one that doesn't fit. It stands out because of the style he wrestles in Ring of Honor, you know. And then Jay Lethal, you know, one thing I want to say, this crowd was annoying at parts, maybe the entire night, you know. Oh, boy. And Robin said there was a drunk guy sitting next to, it was Big Rat the entire night, and it was not. Alcohol is a powerful thing, but that's all I'm going to say. But just Jay Lethal did very well here. It's great to see him back. You know, the crowd ate up all the Randy Savage stuff, and that was awesome to see. You know, Lethal did get a lot of elevation on his elbow, and just he looked very good. And I'd like to see him in more Ring of Honor dates. I think he will be on the taping on August 13th. I like to see him against, you know, a Roderick Strong or a more high-profile guy. Maybe put him in there with El Generico. Maybe have him challenge for the TV title. I wouldn't mind that at all, you know. But I want to get back to Mike Bennett real quick. Just he's a good wrestler. I might be in the minority here, but I like Mike Bennett. You know, he is very good. I mean, he's a safe in-ring worker. He's, you know, he plays his role well, and I like the Brutal Bob is with him, and I just think people should give him more of a chance. Then we get to Homicide versus Rhino in the street fight. If you see my live rating, it says, "Thank you, Rhino," because Homicide sucked ass in this match. I am sorry. He was outside of the Tope con Hilo, he didn't look very good at all. And if this is goodbye for him in Ring of Honor, I'm a fan of Homicide. I'm a fan of the good Homicide. But his run in Ring of Honor was, to say it was subpar would be being nice. It was he had his bright spots. I mean, his match with Kevin Steen back at Richard vs. Daniels was very good. He had good matches in other promotions. He looked good at Undertaker Center Stage. However, as a whole, it was not very good. And see ya, Homicide. Bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. But it's just, oh man, it's just that Rhino, did look very good here. His style works very well in these small type, hardcore type matches. And then that gore was sick. I loved it. And then, and then my friend who we sat with brought up that would you take the trade Homicide leaving for Rhino coming in? Absolutely, I would take that trade in a second. If it wasn't for Michael Elgin being in Ring of Honor, we would need someone like Rhino. But Michael Elgin is like Rhino-esque. I mean, he wrestles big and they're about the same height and stature, so should be cool to see having two of those guys. I would like to actually see Rhino versus Michael Elgin, but all right, we're going to get to Steve Corino versus Michael Elgin. Obviously, the whole thing surrounding Kevin Steen was more in this match than anything else. You see the live rating of Steen as God. Start off with Steve Corino getting on the mic saying they're bringing back out Kevin Steen. Steen is literally 10 feet from me when he came down the in the crowd. We're right there. I was like, holy crap, and because he got such a huge ovation. Like literally, it was maybe the loudest thing in the night from where I was sitting. It was just so incredible, This guy is just off the charts. And then, he's escorted out, playing, I guess, the face. But obviously, if those of you who know what happens with him, saying fuck Ring of Honor, stuff like that, if you haven't seen it, you definitely should buy the pay-per-view because Steen is God. That's why it says that. But still, I think Elgin looked damn impressive here in this match. Steve Corino is not a little guy, and he deadlift suplexed him, and then he caught him. I love Michael Elgin. He is my favorite wrestler I've seen primarily this year. I've said that before, but the guy is just awesome. He might be one of my. He's just so great, and he literally is just one of the more impressive people I've seen come out of nowhere. Like literally, he is great, and actually, I'm going to make a little bit of a bold prediction here. I've said this. I said this to people in New York, but I don't think there's really anyone good for Richards to drop the belt to in Ring of Honor right now, and I think Richards might hold it a long time. So I think Michael Elgin might be the guy to take it off of him. It might be such a long, drawn-out thing, but if you elevate Elgin and have him get great victories, maybe have him break away from the House of Truth a little bit, I think he could be such a great champion. If he really works on it, he could put on some great matches, I really like Michael Elgin, and I think Davey will get a long title reign, so maybe I think Elgin taking the belt off him is not out of the question. But the storyline I'm talking about that me and my friend came up with at Best in the World, based off of what happened with Kevin Steen, I said, how cool would it be if Steen had someone in his ear like telling him to be evil? And my friend came up with Raven playing that role, and I think that just is a perfect role, because Raven does have a history with Ring of Honor. He did feud with Punk a lot, and then I think he is the perfect guy for this role as long as he doesn't wrestle, because I think he might not be that great in ring anymore. But he can. Those are if you have Corino, Steen, Raven, and Jacobs in a feud together, hands down, I think that might be the best feud of all time, mic-wise, just mic work. Those are four awesome promo cutters, and they all have different styles with approaching promos. That would just be a sight to see for me. But, all right, let's get to the more meat of the card. The 3 title matches, Christopher Daniels versus El Generico. Live, this was very good to great. A lot of the crowd did know Generico was going to win. That hurt it a tiny bit, but Daniels did play, his prophecy-type self very well. And, if this is it for Daniels in Ring of Honor, he did a very good job. Thank you for your time spent, but, as much as I hate to say it, he is replaceable. And I think Michael Elgin should step up into that role, being the top 2 guys in the house, just being Strong and Elgin. I think they should be equals now, but just kind of like Daniels and Strong would have been. But, Generico definitely did look very good here, and it's good to see the belt on him. It's his first singles title in Ring of Honor, so I'm very glad to see it since, he has been there since I guess 05 if you want to be technical, but then he's been a signed roster member since 07, so he definitely deserves it, and I can't wait to see where Generico goes with the belt. Then we get to the 4-way tag match: Kings of Wrestling versus the Briscoes versus the All Night Express versus the World's Greatest Tag Team. Such a difference of opinion. It says live rating of very good to great or amazing, because it could be anywhere in there. There were parts that were all three in this match. The ending was weak, and that kind of hurt it a little bit. But this match, I can't say anyone saying this was not a great match, because it was just so cool to watch. Because just from the spotty parts to the technical parts to the stupid ass "this is racist" chant. I mean, first off, that's why this crowd pissed me off. I mean, everyone wants to see Kenny King and Shelton Benjamin, so you chant "this is racist" when they get in the ring, dude. Oh, come on, that was really stupid. But still, Red Titus did look very good here. And I do think that ANX. I probably think the Briscoes are taking the belts off of World Greatest Tag Team, and ANX will be taking it off of them. So, we should see what's coming here. So I can't wait to see how the tag team division evolves. There was a great post-match angle here. Obviously, probably setting up Briscoes' World's Greatest Tag Team for the Chicago taping. So we'll see how this goes. Still a great match, 4 stars. And if the Kings of Wrestling are both headed to the WWE, more looks like definitely Claudio at this point. But they deserve it. They are both excellent. Claudio was my Wrestler of the Year last year. And, I'd love to see them both in WWE. That would add more of my interest. So I would like to see that. Then we get to the main event. The new match of the year for me. And people who know, my old match of the year was Mercedes Martinez versus Angel Orsini from the final chapter, know how high I am on that match. Probably outside of LV5454, I'm the highest one on that match on all of YouTube. I gave that 5 stars. That match is absolutely insane. This match, however, there's just too much. I mean, this match, I can't see anything beating this. This is one of the strongest matches I've seen in a long, long time. This is up there with both Michaels Undertakers. Just as a moment-wise. Just because it has that moment behind it. First off, the in-ring wrestling was amazing. The counters were amazing. The submissions were awesome. The story behind it just was completely great. And then you had the moment of Davey Richards winning and just so much other amazing stuff together that this gets classic match, 5 stars. I think Kevin Kelly said it well that anything would be hard. It would be so hard to top this match for match of the year. This is the best match I've ever seen live, no doubt. This was better than Steen and Generico. This is better than Roddy and Eddie from Manhattan Mayhem 4. Better than any match that happened during Atlanta WrestleMania 27 weekend. Completely off the charts. This made all, the getting on a train for 3 hours both ways worth it. This made everything completely worth it, and I cannot wait to go back to New York City. This show was great. I give it an 8.75, just short of amazing, but definitely should still pick it up, and I will see you guys